Hello, welcome back to Healing Momma Podcast. I'm your host, Val, aka Healing Momma, and today's episode is Keep Me Different. Today's quote is Keep me different, God. I don't mind being left out. I finally realize you'll never have me miss anything I'm supposed to be a part of. What is for me is for me. Who is for me is for me. And I love that quote. I feel like through this journey of healing and unbecoming, stepping into new territory, a territory that I've never been in the 36 years of my life. Through this journey, I have started to realize that the person that I thought I was and everything that I stood for and I believed in, or my ways of thinking, wasn't necessarily who I was as a person, as an individual at my core. All of those things were who I became based on my traumas, my surroundings, whatever it was that I went through during my upbringing and into adulthood. And so I am finding myself at 36 years old now on a search of who I am without the trauma, without the baggage, without the hurt, without the pain. And that's not to say that I don't go through trauma or hurt or pain anymore, but it's just now that I know that I have the tools and how to manage whatever comes my way. I'm trying to figure out now who I am, because the way I respond to things, or the way I would have responded to things, or felt a certain type of way on certain situations, isn't necessarily how I see things now. So I'm in this place in my life that's very much a weird place. It's very much a place of growth. And like I said, I'm trying to figure out who I am and coming from a place of healing. And so this quote really hit home with me. Keep me different, God. Keep me different. I don't mind missing out on things. I don't mind missing out on situations or people, things and people and places that I thought in a million years that I needed, that I could never be without. I have now found myself without them, and put into situations where I see myself telling God, I don't mind being left out, telling God, okay, I'm fine with the people that have been removed from my life. I'm okay with not walking into this room, even though in the past it would be something that I did crave and that I did want to go into, or I did want to hang out with these people, or I did want to react a certain way. Keep me different, God. And it's hard sometimes, right? Because the old me still combats with this version of myself that's healing. So the old me still says, like, well, I want to be in those rooms. I want to talk to those people. I want to feel this way. I want to respond this way. And the healed me can realize now that I don't need to do that. I don't need to step into those rooms. I don't need to respond those certain ways. And it's like this inner battle, this inner conflict. And I'm really trying to learn and step into that peace. So telling God, keep me different, telling God, guide me, God, through whatever it is that I'm supposed to do right now, make things evidently clear for me that I'm on the right path, and align me with my greatest and highest good. And so that's something that I pray for daily. I ask God to align myself with my greatest and highest good, to close doors that are supposed to be closed, open doors that are supposed to be open, and make things evidently clear for me so that I know that I'm on the right path. But to keep me different, because it could be easy just for me to fall back into old habits, to old patterns. At least that's what I tell myself right now. I don't know if it would be easy, because I've come such a long way and I do have the tools. So I don't know if it would be necessarily as easy as it was when I was first starting this journey of healing. But I can tell you guys, it's something that takes work, and it's something that I do have to pray for every single day. And I do have to speak to my higher power and just let him know, like, I need help, because it's hard. It's weird finding myself in a place where I am trying to figure out who I am as an individual. And what I've learned today is that I'm imperfect. I'm learning, I'm growing. I really crave growth and alignment. And I've also learned that I have a servant's heart, which makes my heart happy. And I've realized that to help others is something that pours back into me. It pours back into my soul. It helps me keep going on a day-to-day basis. And so while all of it can be hard, and while things go on in my life, continuing to do this work is something that does pour into me. even when it doesn't feel like it when I'm filming or I'm editing, because it does take a lot of time. I know that it's something that God continues to place in my heart and is aligned with my greatest and highest good, because God brings people and things that make me aware of the fact that I'm on the right path. And so, as much as there is pressure in this season of my life, I give it to God and I tell God, you take this pressure and you guide me and you lead me in it. But learning to be okay with the closed doors, learning to accept the waiting room of God, learning to accept the being left out. And I can say honestly, throughout my life, that is something that I have always been different with. I was always kind of the odd one out. For example, in church, in my upbringing, I was the oddball. I was the different one. And there would be these little cliques, and I could never seem to fit into these cliques. And when I was thinking about it today, it was coming up for me while I was meditating, and it took me back to the times of my upbringing as a kid, as a teenager, and not really ever being able to find that spot, that place, that comfort to where I fit in. And God just put it in my heart at that time while I was meditating, and these memories were coming up, that I was never meant to fit in, because I go against the grain, because I am different, and because I choose to live a life that, even if it's hard, it's a life that is purposeful, and it's a life that is of servanthood and giving back to others. And God never meant me to fit into other people's boxes. And so I've always been different in that aspect. I can honestly say it's not even just with my upbringing as a young adult and a kid. Even as an adult, when I walk into rooms, or if it's a business meeting or whatever the case is, I always do feel like the odd one out. And I've learned to kind of accept that and take that for what it is that it's my strength, and that I go against the grain. I don't go with the flow, and I'm created differently. And so I'm okay with being left out. I'm okay with sitting out of spaces and rooms that other people are in, because that's what you're supposed to do, or that's the click. A lot of my life I was told, like, you're different. You carry yourself different, you act different, you're not like other people. I never really knew how to take that, right? Like, I was like, okay, different, like, in a good way, different in a bad way. And then I learned to accept it, because I know that I'm different. And as I grew older, I realized I want to be different. I don't want to be like other people. I don't want to be somebody that's known to just do what others do, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? And so I've always gone against the grain, and I've always pushed. And like I said, in this journey, I am unbecoming, and I'm trying to figure out who I am at my core. And I don't know how long this journey will take, but I will bring you guys along the way with me and share my thoughts, my feelings, what I'm learning about myself. And a lot of it is inner child work, right? Learning to reconnect with little me, and what heals my soul and what feels right, and trusting that gut instinct. Because when I look at my kids, I want them to know who they are at their core, and not who they've become through trauma or through pain or through hardships or whatever life has taught them. And I think that's the purpose of life, living in our truest selves, in who we were meant to be, who God created us to be, and not who we were created by through pain. And so I'm learning to step into this journey and really trying to figure out who I am. And it's so weird, guys. It is so weird, because I sit there and I meditate, and I start to get these feelings and these emotions. And I'm like, wow, if you would have told me a few years ago that I would be on a journey of self at the age of 36, I would have laughed in your face confidently and told you, I know who I am. I'm firm in who I am. But that's not who I was. And so it's kind of funny that I have no clue the person that I was meant to be at my core, but I'm finding out, like I said, I'm finding out who I am supposed to be, but it puts me in an odd position, and it's crazy. And I accept it, and I love it, and I want to continue this journey. And so I challenge you to sit and think as you've began this healing journey. If you have, do you find yourself feeling like you are on a journey of unbecoming and trying to figure out who you truly are at your core? Or is it just me? Like, is this just my personal journey? Am I still going against the grain? Let me know. But I do feel like I am on this journey and I want to know, are you in this journey with me? Are you saying, hey, Val, I was who I was all these years. I thought that's who I was, but that's who I became through trauma. And now I don't even know who I am at my core. Let me know. I'm curious. I want to know if you guys are going through this with me. But I know that no matter what I go through in life, the unbecoming, the healing, the growing, the good, the bad, I know that my higher power is with me always. And that he guides me in all that I do. And I trust him. I trust my higher power to provide for me everything that is meant for me and to remove anything that doesn't serve my greatest and highest good. And so while this journey is scary because I'm a human being, I accept it wholeheartedly. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for this journey. I'm grateful for the unbecoming, the healing, the journey of self, and all that is to be. And I just want to thank you all for joining me today and listening to me talk about myself, because that's what it is. This episode is me talking about myself and where I'm at in life. And that's going to be ever changing. So I appreciate you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so, so much. I send you all so much love, peace, joy, positivity. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, follow, share your stories. Are you on a journey right now of self and unbecoming? I would like to know. I am on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Riverside, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcast. You can follow me across all socials at Healing Momma Podcast, with the exception of TikTok, where you can find me at Healing Momma Pod. Until next time, I send you guys so much love, and I hope you have an amazing weekend. Bye, guys.